When a man wounds a truly good woman, understand this clearly: the injury is never truly about her. It is his own blindness, his inability to recognize the rare gift that stood before him. But in that moment of betrayal, something ancient awakens within her. A fire that even she did not know she carried. A good woman does not shatter. She does not drown in tears or disappear into victimhood. No. She transforms. The change begins in silence. Long nights, eyes open, mind turning like a blade on stone. She questions everything: her worth, her choices, the love itself. But here is the difference. Most people break under such questioning. A good woman does not. She is refined. She was never built on sand. She loved with the full force of her being, without score, without hesitation. She stood in his darkness when no one else would, believing her light could guide him home. That is not weakness. That is power most men will never comprehend. And when that power is betrayed, clarity arrives like dawn after the longest night. Suddenly she sees, truly sees, every red flag she painted over, every silence she kept for silence's sake, every piece of her soul she handed to hands that didn't know how to hold it. She does not become bitter. She becomes dangerous with wisdom. She does not close her heart. She guards it like a master guards the temple gate. She does not scream. She does not chase. She levels up. This is what men never expect. They mistake her kindness for tolerance, her loyalty for permanence, her love for need. They believe she will wait while they wander. They are wrong. There is always a final straw. And when it falls, she does not look back. Not because the love wasn't real. Because she finally sees herself clearly. She takes all that energy, the devotion, the patience, the unbreakable faith she once poured into him, and turns it inward. She rises, not out of revenge, out of awakening. And that, my friend, is the moment he feels true pain. Not when she cries, but when she stops. When she walks away glowing, stronger, quieter, more herself than ever before. When he realizes the woman he lost is now the one he will never be worthy of again. Because the love she once gave him without limits, she now gives to herself. Completely, fiercely, without apology. That is the consequence of hurting a good woman. She doesn't just leave. She ascends. And no man who caused that ascension ever recovers from watching her become everything he was too blind to cherish. And when a man feels unworthy of real love, he destroys it before it can expose him fully. Standing naked in the light of a woman who sees every shadow, every wound, every weakness, and still chooses to stay, that terrifies a man who has never faced himself. So he sabotages, he runs. He pushes her away. Not because her love is weak, because it is too strong, too true, too confronting. When she finally walks, the real collapse begins. Not in her, but in him. She cries, yes. But then she rises. He unravels in slow motion, quietly, until one day he wakes up in a life that feels hollow. And he doesn't even recognize how everything good slipped through his fingers. That is the hidden punishment for breaking someone who only wanted to love you. You don't just lose her. You lose the version of yourself that only existed in her presence. The peace she brought to your storm. The belief she had in you when you had none. The softness she gave you when the world demanded you stay armored. You lose the man you were becoming because she saw him first. A good woman never demanded perfection. She only asked for honesty, effort, growth. A heart willing to bend instead of break others. When you chose ego over evolution, pride over vulnerability, you didn't just reject her. You rejected your own becoming. And the cruelest truth. Most men only understand this when it's far too late. When she's gone. When she's at peace. When she's thriving without you. And you're left alone with one question that never leaves. Why did I destroy the one person who truly saw me? Because you weren't ready. You hadn't done the work. You thought real love would wait forever. But real love does not beg. It does not stay where it is disrespected. It walks. And when it does, the silence it leaves behind is deafening. Her absence becomes a mirror. Her memory becomes the loudest voice in empty rooms. The love she gave echoes in your chest long after she's gone. And in that unbearable quiet, you finally feel the full weight of what you threw away. Not just her, but the only version of you that was ever truly alive. That is the mark a good woman leaves. It does not fade, it haunts. It teaches. It transforms, even the one who broke her. This is the unbreakable mindset. She was the calm in your storm, the one who stayed when everyone else walked away, who forgave when no one else would, who saw the king in you when you only felt like a beggar. And you let her go. That is when regret moves in, not as a visitor, but as a permanent resident. It whispers in the quiet hours about the life that could have been built, the children who will never carry her eyes, the mornings that will never again begin with her touch. You search for her in every new face, but the depth is gone. Everything else feels like water. After you've tasted wine, your soul remembers what it was to be fully seen, fully held, fully loved, and nothing less will ever be enough again. You didn't just lose her. You lost the best man you ever were. Died the day she stopped believing in him. And the deepest cut. The pain circles back and lives in you forever. A good woman is not replaced. She is not forgotten. She becomes the standard no one else can reach. The ghost that walks beside you in every empty room. But there is another wound. One you never see coming. When you break a woman who loved with her whole soul, you don't just break her heart. You teach her that love can be dangerous. You turn her openness into armor. You take the woman who once ran toward love and make her walk away from everyone after you. She doesn't become cold out of hate. She becomes careful out of survival. Every wall she builds has your name carved in the foundation. Every time she hesitates to trust, your voice is the one she hears saying she wasn't enough. Every time she questions her worth, it's your actions that answer. You wanted her softness. Then you taught her it could be used as a weapon against her. So she put it away. Not because she wanted to, because you made her. And that, more than anything, should haunt a man who once held a queen and treated her like an option. You didn't just lose her love. You killed the version of her that would have loved the next man without reservation. You turned a heart that was wide open into one that now opens very, very slowly, if at all. That is your true legacy. Not just her absence in your life, but the caution in her eyes for the rest of hers. The scar you left became her teacher. It spoke in a voice you will never hear. Give everything, and they may hand you nothing back. Love without armor, and they may use it to cut you. So she changed, not into anger, into vigilance. She still smiles, but slower. She listens before she speaks. She watches before she trusts. She keeps the deepest rooms of her heart locked now. Not to punish the world, but to protect the girl who once opened every door without question. That innocence you met, you helped bury it. And innocence, once lost to pain, rarely returns in its original form. She will love again. One day a man will come who earns what you were freely given. He will have to prove himself every single day. He will move carefully, speak honestly, show up consistently, because the doorway to her soul is now guarded by the memory of you. You closed it. Another will have to open it, inch by inch. And every step he takes with patience is a silent reminder of how carelessly you walked through. But hear this clearly, when she finally walks away, she is not running from you. She is walking toward herself. She leaves behind the version of her that begged to be chosen, that shrank to fit your comfort, that mistook loyalty for a life sentence. That woman dies quietly the day she chooses peace over chaos. And in her place rises someone unshakable, someone who knows her worth is not measured by how long she can endure being undervalued, someone who no longer confuses patience with self-betrayal. You were once her home. Now she is her own sanctuary. You were once the center of her world. Now she stands at the center, calm, complete, untouchable. That is the final transformation. Not revenge, not bitterness, just truth. She needed nothing from you in the end. She only needed to stop needing you. And that, more than her absence, is what will echo in your bones forever. Her transformation is not a single moment. It is not the day she walks away. It is the slow unraveling of every doubt, every wound, every whispered, "What if?" that lingers long after you're gone from her life. Healing is not just about forgetting you. It is about unlearning the lies she believed while she was with you. Lies about love, about trust, about her own right to joy. That kind of rebirth takes time. When she finally steps away, it is not just for her. It is a blade of truth carved for you. Love is not a game. It is not a convenience to discard when it feels heavy. It is not a gift to trample. Her silence screams it louder than words ever could. One day, you will wake up and feel the weight of what you lost. You will see her face in the quiet moments. Remember the day she poured her soul into you, and wish you had honored her fire instead of dousing it. But by then, she will be a horizon you cannot reach. She will have rebuilt a world that no longer waits for your permission to shine. And that is the sharpest truth of all. When you break a good woman's heart, you don't just lose her. You lose the chance to ever know a love that pure again. You lose the man you could have been if you had chosen to rise instead of run. Few men are ready to face that kind of emptiness. Fewer still learn from it.